Hi, my name is Kyle Walker, and I'm going to be talking about the Japanese samurai and the salarymen. Are they one and the same? The modern day Japanese businessman, in many ways, is much like a modern day samurai in their behavior and mindset. The samurai are shown in the media through anime and manga as traditionally respected figures whose presence commands respect and reverence, which appeals to many of the salarymen because of the perceived parallels between them. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of the samurai. So what makes a samurai? Well, beneath the shogun were the samurai in the hierarchical feudal Japanese society. Above the shogun was only the emperor and the imperial family. So this Japanese warrior nobility class comprised about 10% of the population and were typically highly trained and heavily armed. They carried out police duties and were basically tax collectors. They were the law enforcers of the land. Now, with this responsibility came a strong sense of honor, and this honor code was codified into what is now known as the Bushido. So, what is expected of the samurai? Well, in the Bushido, the honorific code of conduct, uh, Eiko Ikegami says that honor consistently appeared at the center of their cultural identity as a warrior class. She also says a man's honor can be maintained only when he fights to protect it against threats, whether real or imagined. So this meant that the samurai were called on whether if it was an internal conflict between shogun for territory, land, farmland, civil disputes, things like that, as well as external threats. The samurai were typically competitive with each other. And Ikegami states that the samurai usually compared their own promotion not to the position of someone of much higher honor ranking, but to that of a peer of similar rank. So they wouldn't really compete against other shogun or the imperial family, of course, or even anyone lower than them. They would compare themselves and compete against fellow samurai, which makes a lot of sense. So now I'm going to be talking about the salaryman. So what makes a salaryman? Typically, he would be middle class and often university educated, entering the company upon graduation from university in his early 20s, as stated by Mr. Gupta in his paper. So what entailed in being a salaryman? Well, Das Gupta also says, his behavior, deportment, white shirt, dark business suit, lack of flashy clothing and accessory items, neat hairstyle, consumer habits, for example, reading certain types of magazines, even his verbal and body language. All of these would be put together to make a cohesive unit, which is the salaryman. Dasgupta also says, in return for his loyalty and conformity, the salaryman could expect such benefits as lifetime employment security, automatic increases in salary and status linked to length of service, and an overall paternalistic concern for him on the part of the organization. So, the company, in return for his loyalty, would provide their own sense of loyalty and take care of the salaryman throughout his life. So, what else is he? Dasgupta says, to many people, the term salaryman is almost synonymous with masculinity in Japan. The salaryman symbolizes the ubiquitous everyman, the Kigyo Senshi, or corporate warrior. So, what is the connection between these two? Well, Dasgupta says, the salaryman would be expected to display qualities of loyalty, diligence, dedication, self-sacrifice, hard work, qualities which in an earlier era had been associated with another influential discourse of masculinity, the Bushido of the samurai. Everything about the salaryman embodies these values. So the code of conduct upheld by the samurai and the salaryman were both mutually beneficial to the lower and higher ranked persons. Being a part of this system causes both the salaryman and the samurai to constantly compete within themselves for higher honor ranking and status. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.